God of War's Kratos tears through Norse gods and butchers his way to victory time and again. But how much of the Viking mythology did the game get right? Did they do their homework? Stick around to uncover what God of War nails and where it veers off. Welcome to History Unfolded, God of War Edition. Let's jump into the Norse world God of War builds on. The Vikings' beliefs etched in the sagas like Poetic Edda and Prose Edda from the 13th century. These oral tales, later written by scribes like Snorri Sturluson, shaped Viking life. Warriors prayed to Odin for victory and seers read runes for fate. God of War pulls from these ancient epics, starting with Thor, the thunder god Kratos faces. Let's see how close it gets. Thor is shown as a towering warrior with Mjolnir, and that's spot on. Viking sagas like the Gylfaginning say Thor used his hammer to slay giants, once crushing a serpent so huge it stretched across the ocean. Another tale has him fishing for Jormungandr, the world serpent, nearly pulling it from the depths with a giant ox head as bait. Archaeologists found Mjolnir pendants across Scandinavia, worn for protection against evil, dating back to 1000 AD. But God of War's Thor? He's a brooding brawler with a beer belly, not the ripped version most people know. Vikings saw him as a heroic defender, not a moody dad. In the game, Thor's shield bash stuns Kratos. A nice game twist, but myths don't mention shields, just Mjolnir's raw power. And that hammer-throwing trick? Pure game flair. The myths say Mjolnir returns to Thor's hand, but no flying frisbee action for God of War. Moving on, we have Odin, shown to be a shadowy puppet master. And that's half true. Vikings revered Odin as the All-Father, god of wisdom and war, who sacrificed an eye for knowledge at Mimir's well. God of War nods to this with his cunning. Runestones from Sweden depict Odin with his ravens, Hugin and Munin, spying for him, and his spear Gungnir never misses its mark in the Viking sagas. But God of War's Odin, with his creepy mask and mind control, is a bit of a stretch. Vikings saw him as a wise leader, not a sci-fi villain. In the game, Odin's creepy lines about fate feel a bit forced. The myths focus on his wisdom, not manipulation. And those Valkyries Kratos fights? They guided fallen warriors to Valhalla in myth, not battled like video game bosses. If you're looking for some authenticity though, you can definitely find it at History Unfolded. Mind dropping a like and hitting that subscribe? Every bit helps. On with the video. As for Midgard, it feels raw. Long ships, villages, and Kratos' axe. Vikings carved runes on stones to honor the dead, like the Jelling stones from 965 AD, and their longships found in Gokstad burials, conquered seas from 800 to 1100 AD. Kratos' Leviathan axe is just like the Viking weapons, iron blades with etched runes for strength, unearthed in Norway. Berserkers, Viking warriors in animal skins raged in battle, and God of War's Spartan rage shows off this frenzy. But the Draugr and magic? Vikings believed in seers like the Volva who foretold tales with staffs, but they didn't face undead hordes daily. That's just game flair. And those epic parkour leaps? Vikings stuck to the ground and to shields and swords, not acrobatics. Kratos' brutal combat style does nod to Viking warfare though. Swords and axes clashed in raids from 793 AD's Lindisfarne attack. God of War's shield blocks nod to the Viking shield walls, a tactic that won battles like Stamford Bridge in 1066. But Kratos' superhuman strength? Vikings relied on teamwork, not one-man armies. And those cinematic kills, ripping spines out? Ooh, pure God of War gore. Though we gotta give it to Kratos, he always knows how to put on a show. God of War's big twist is Ragnarök, the end of the world, and it's rooted deep in Viking myth. The Prose Edda tells of a 3-year Fimbulwinter, followed by a battle where Fenrir the wolf devours Odin, Surtur's fire consumes the earth, and Heimdall blows his horn to signal doom. Whew! God of War shows the chaos off perfectly, with Kratos and Atreus racing to stop it, and a prophecy wall mirroring the sagas. But the real Vikings saw Ragnarök as unstoppable fate, and no hero could alter it, unlike Kratos' meddling. That world serpent Jormungandr, he's real in myth, said to encircle the earth, battling Thor at Ragnarök. God of War's version, roaring in Midgard, that's definitely a cool nod to the myths. So, did God of War get the myths right? Well, depends how you look at it. It blends Viking myths with some awesome creative license. Thor's hammer, Odin's wisdom, and Ragnarök feel authentic, but Kratos' god-slaying and Draugr fights, of course, that's all game magic. For the most part though, the setting, vibe, and overall story is rather faithful to the myths, so as far as we can tell, God of War did a superb job, even though it took quite a few liberties. What do you think? Did you enjoy the game? What do you think would have happened if real Vikings met Kratos? Would they hail him as a hero or hunt him as a villain? Tell us down below. Love this deep dive? Drop a like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Next, we have a video on the Outlaws Red Dead Redemption 2 was based on. We'll see you there. Stay curious.